The chip war is no longer hiding inside factories most Americans will never see. It is crawling into data centers, power grids, national security, Wall Street, and the price of nearly every device people touch. The bigwigs talk about AI like it's a clean software revolution. Yeah, right. That story falls apart the second you look at what AI actually needs to even function. It needs chips. And not just ordinary chips. It needs the most advanced, expensive, fragile chips on Earth, built through a process so delicate that one skin cell can destroy the product before it ever leaves the factory. That's a global chokehold dressed up as innovation. This is the part of the AI boom that makes people uncomfortable. The industry wants the public to believe AI is moving faster because the technology is getting smarter. But the truth is much more shocking. The entire AI race is being forced through factories, machines, wafers, power systems, and geopolitical bottlenecks that only a handful of companies can control. The transcript says the chip industry is projected to hit $1 trillion in revenue in 2026, and AI is one of the reasons everyone suddenly cares about semiconductors. That number matters because it shows this is not some background manufacturing story anymore. Chips have become the heartbeat of the economy, and AI is now grabbing more of that heartbeat every single day. The figures tell the story better than the hype. According to a trusted report, roughly 1 trillion semiconductor devices are shipped every year, which works out to about 100 chips for every person on Earth. AI chips accounted for more than 1/4 of all chips sold in 2025, and that share is expected to reach more than half by 2029. Spending on AI infrastructure like data centers is projected to cross $1 trillion, which means big tech is not casually experimenting anymore. It is trying to rebuild the physical foundation of computing around AI. That should be the headline. Not that AI is growing, but that AI is starting to consume the chip industry itself.
All right, so this is a wafer. This is how we build our products. You can see where all of the various individual chips are printed. So this wafer probably has around 300 or 400 chips printed. And after you singulate them, such as this is a chip that would run your PC. Just to see a contrast, you know, this is a PC, this is a server, this is AI. And the amount of silicon is immensely higher. This central region here is actually many chips with some stacked on top of the other. And then the 8 individual chiplets on the outside are our memory, stacked 12 layers high. And so we're able to get more energy efficient AI compute.
And the deeper you look, the more dangerous the rabbit hole goes. AI chips are not simple products rolling off an assembly line. The most advanced components are made inside some of the cleanest factories in the world because contamination at this scale is catastrophic. The smallest parts of today's chips are smaller than viruses, and some of the most expensive chips can sell for more than $30,000 each. This is the ugly contradiction at the center of the AI boom. Big tech is promising endless growth, but that growth depends on fragile hardware that is expensive to build, hard to transport, and almost impossible to replace quickly when something goes wrong. That is why ASML matters. Most people have never heard of it, but this company sits inside one of the most important choke points in the world. ASML does not make chips, it makes the machines that make the most advanced chips. And the report makes clear that the leading chip manufacturers depend on its lithography systems. These machines are not just expensive, they are absurdly specialized. The latest systems can cost around $400 million per machine, weigh as much as a blue whale, and use extreme ultraviolet light that does not naturally occur on Earth's surface. So when AI companies say they need more compute, what they really mean is they need more machines, more fabs, more engineers, more water, more power, and more of a supply chain that already looks dangerously concentrated. Now look at Taiwan. This is where the story stops being just business and becomes a global risk. TSMC manufactures more than 90% of the world's most advanced chips, mostly from its Taiwan-based gigafabs. That means the AI boom, the stock market excitement, the data center race, and the future of advanced computing are all tied to a small island sitting inside one of the most dangerous geopolitical standoffs on Earth. The report says a February 2026 Bloomberg economics estimate found the world economy could lose $10 trillion if a conflict erupted with Taiwan hanging in the balance. That is not a supply chain issue. That is an economic weapon pointed at the modern world. This is why the AI race is not just about who builds the best model. It is about who controls the chips, who controls the machines, who controls the factories, and who controls the geography. The United States knows it lost ground. In 1990, nearly 40% of the world's chips were manufactured in America. By 2024, that number had fallen to about 10%. That collapse explains why Washington is throwing money at reshoring, why the CHIPS Act became a national priority, and why TSMC is investing heavily in Arizona. The report says TSMC is committed to $165 billion in Arizona fabs and is scheduled to receive $6.6 billion in direct CHIPS Act funding. That is not free market confidence. That is a government trying to claw back a supply chain it can no longer afford to leave overseas. China sees the same thing. It does not want to depend on the United States or Western technology for the chips that will define AI, defense, surveillance, communications, and economic power.